Have you ever pre-planned for something and decide when I get there, I'm not going to do X thing, and then you get there and you do X thing? Hi, welcome back to my channel, Honey Bunches. If you are new here, my name is Mouse. Today, we are going to talk about something that I said I wasn't going to do, and I did it anyway, and it happened today. Oh my God. Okay. So recently, I have been going to networking events, and I have been sectioning out what I want to say to who, meaning I have been going to networking events that's geared more towards my skill set, like corporate wise, tech wise rather. And then I've been also meeting people creative wise. And so in the more tech spaces, I have been saying that I didn't want to say this one thing. And why I get into a meeting today and I said it. And then I couldn't take it back. It was terrible. And watch when you hear it, it's not going to be that bad. I met this girl at this virtual networking event that I went to, and we, like, at the end, you pick like your top 3 people. The networking event was called Real Connections, and so you pick like your top 3 people, and we were both on each other's top 3. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to say going into this meeting, I said I specifically do not want to talk about okay, sorry, I'm just all over the place with it. I have been kind of on this journey for myself and in creative spaces of trying to like show myself that we as women can build stuff together and that we can encourage each other, and not all the women in these spaces are just trying to be like crabs in a barrel. And I feel like it's a common experience that I've had within creative spaces. And so I also know that has to do more with like kind of like the company that you keep, because I know like I exist and I know that there are other women out there that are like me. I have met them, right? But I just don't have like a full circle of like, just women who want to see other women win. And so I specifically said when it came to anything that I did tech related or corporate related, that I didn't want to speak on that, because one, I feel like that's too personal. I feel like it can have the ability to like present you as like coming from that space or like being a part of that space, if that makes sense. And so I said I wasn't going to say anything about like trying to build my circle in that way. But then we got to talking about like personal things, not like super personal, but like, where are you from? Do you have any pets? Stuff like that. And then, as we started talking more about like our paths to where we are and what we want to do in the future, I said it. And so immediately, you know how like when you're in like when you're talking to someone and they like hit you with the and I was like, oh no. Not that there's anything wrong with saying that. And she followed up with like, she's been very fortunate to have been exposed to a community of women that encourage and inspire other women. Like, they all want to see each other win, and they're very helpful in that way. And so I was really happy to hear that, because a part of that journey is I do want to hear stories like that, like where women are genuinely trying to see other women win, because I just know that it's just more of like what I have been exposed to, as opposed to, again, like I said earlier, as opposed to that being like the overall common experience within our community. But I feel like when you are exposed to that, and then the people within that community keep saying like that's the experience, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not saying what I mean. Overall, the call went really well, and I did tell her that I wanted to have another conversation to talk more about like her experience, because I do more data, she does data in like software. So I feel like those two things overlap quite a bit. But that's another thing. So this whole experience, like with me going to networking events and stuff like that, is so that I can practice talking about what I do in a confident, clear way. Because let me tell y'all, when I did the first networking event, I aced it. I aced it. I did so well. Like, so many people wanted to connect with me after, like, I spoke clearly on what I do. It was, my storytelling was on point. Like, it was so good. And then I get into the personal calls and I just tanked it. But I mean, that's the whole point in this, right? For me to be able to practice and figure out what I want to say and how I want to present myself. Um, and so I'm figuring that out. But I feel so embarrassed. And I know it's not embarrassing. If someone did that to me, I wouldn't feel that way. But I just feel embarrassed because I had a plan, I planned. What's that movie when it's like, oh, it's Lilo and Stitch, where she's like, I want to dance. I practice. I want to dance. I practice. Yes, that's how I felt, or how I feel. Another thing, I really appreciate like having that conversation because it really did show me the, I guess, like highlight where I feel that friction. Because I will say, like, within the like corporate kind of tech space, the more women that I meet, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like a crabs in a barrel type of situation. At least for me, I've been very fortunate in that way. But when it comes to like creatively, like that was a lot of my experience, like a lot. And so I am happy that I can, I guess, like separate the two so that I'm not going into both spaces treating them the same way. Um Anyways, I just had to share that because I did have that realization of that, like being able to differentiate and like just being more aware of the energy that I bring as well. Because a lot of times when you have that expectation that someone's going to treat you a certain way, you kind of carry yourself a certain way. And I wasn't standoffish or anything like that, but I was like coming to certain calls like, okay, how's this about to go? Like, are they going to try to talk at me, or am I going to feel like we're in this weird competition type of thing? But I haven't felt that. And it's been really nice because I don't approach conversations and things like that. But I do recognize that when you have that expectation, or even when you're like looking to see if it exists, you're kind of like wiring yourself to be, I guess, defensive ish in a way. So I'm happy to like look at that as well, because I don't want to be going into it like with that expectation. I want people to, come as they are, and then I ebb and flow with that. Another thing that I noticed about myself during this event, and then like the connections that I've made after, is that there are times that I think that I'm being conversational and I'm really just cutting people off. And I was another embarrassing thing. Like, I feel like there's been multiple times where someone is talking and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to. Like, I always catch myself and I don't like just talk over top of them. But even just like, I want to get better at recognizing those clues of like, how can we have a smoother conversation without me being like, ooh, my bad. Like if we were dancing, I'm just stepping on your foot every 2 seconds. Like, so yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. It has come up in almost every call. And I sit back and I think like, wow, I could have been paying attention a little bit more. I mean, I was listening, but it's like, I don't know. I think when I speak to people, I give a bit of information and I kind of let them respond, or I give like a little chunk, and then create some space so if they do want to respond, they can. I feel like I want to practice more of like letting people say everything that they have to say, and like my active listening skills. There we go. I need to practice my active listening skills a little bit better. I think I get caught up in like, I don't want to forget. And if I calm down and slow down, then maybe I won't. I don't need to think about every response. So I'm happy to get that practice in as well. The last thing that I notice is that, I don't know if everyone thinks this way, but I enter conversations where I'm thinking, are we gonna head in like kind of business, like tech direction, or are we gonna head in like casual, I'm trying to get to know you direction? Like, I thought that would be more clear in my calls, but they weren't. Like, I had this conversation with this guy, and like from the same networking event, and he went straight into pitching to me. Like, it wasn't like pitching buy my service, but it was like use my resource. And it really caught me off guard because I went into the call thinking we were going to have a conversation, and like he kept, like, you could tell that when I was like kind of derailing the conversation, I guess, because he had a plan that I didn't know about. When I was derailing it, he was like, you could tell he was kind of like and then would like redirect us back to what he wanted to present to me. And what he presented was useful, but I had to like shift into like, when someone sends me a message and they say, hey, it was great meeting you, like I want to connect more, like when are you free, or here's my schedule, or whatever, like I'm expecting us to connect. I'm not expecting us, I didn't expect a presentation. So I know that there was not much that I could have done in that situation. Like, he would have just had to communicate like that was the goal or his intent with the call. Because he was definitely like, I can't wait to meet you and stuff like that. So it was very interesting. So I think that's something I'm also trying to figure out. Like, when they say connect, when are they trying to connect, like an actual connection, like network, or like connect in the sense of like, I'm just trying to get you on this call so I can pitch to you type of thing. So I have several more, so we shall see how the others go. But anyways, that's my experience. That's my little embarrassing moment that I had. That probably wasn't that embarrassing, but yes, tell me about a time you networked or went to an event and decided not to say something but said it anyway. Or it doesn't even have to be a networking event. Whenever that happened, it's just then the rest of the call, I was just like, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I did it anyway. I literally came into this call and said not to, and I did it anyway. And in fact, later on, after that, I was walking in the living room and I looked right at this little bin and I said, don't kick that, and kicked it. So you know what? At this point, I need to meditate and figure out what's going on. Because if I say don't do something, no, I'm joking. I know that if you focus on something, regardless of if you say not to do it, it's going to happen. But anyways, as usual, thank you so much for being here and spending time with me. This channel exists because I want to see you win. I want to see you win. I know you can do it. Don't forget, your future self is waiting for you, smiling in the sunbeams, arms wide open, and so proud of where you are today, because she cannot be who she is without who you are today. All you have to do is close the distance. I believe in you. She believes in you. Keep going. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. But while you're here,